today I am joined by David Davidson. Hello, mate. How are you?
Doing good, man. How are
Excellent.
you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm really good. So I've been blasting your album this week. First thing that is very pleasing to my ears about this record uh, is that besides one collaboration, which we'll get onto later, it's a very pure, no messing metal record. It's a great tech metal record. You must be very pleased with the way it's turned out. It's a ripper.
Thanks so much, man. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way this one turned out. We worked really hard on it, and it's nice to see that the fruits of our labor are ready to go to market.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, like the title, this is quite a thought-provoking title. It could be relevant to a few things in this current climate. What's the thinking behind that?
Yeah, so with new gods, new masters, I wanted to take the classic banner slogan of "No gods, no masters" that's popular in the punk scene and the metal scene, and subvert that and make it much more nihilistic. Of course, like "No gods, no masters" is an empowering slogan, right? People won't rule out over you, and we're the masters of our own destiny. Um, New gods, new masters is much darker and implies a cyclical nature of humanity where um, kind of no matter what iteration of the timeline we're at for the human species, there's always some desire to uh, worship idols, and I think right now we're seeing that with our worship of technology and sort of our techno saviors that are promising how AI will make our lives better and we can do things for faster and cheaper.
Yeah.
But certainly there is that dangling carrot there of convenience, but I wonder at what cost it will be to humanity.
Absolutely, and I was going to get onto that next. Actually, you've got a track called "Dystopian Vermin" on this record, which tackles just this subject. Like it's a subject that's very close to any artist's heart at the moment. Where we're seeing a lot of AI artwork going on. We're seeing people putting out AI music and all that stuff. It seems to be quite terrible for our particular game. What are your views on AI? Because it does have like the positive aspects in the cases of like surgery and stuff like that, I should imagine, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, I mean, the record definitely, as a concept record, views AI through a very negative
Mhm.
lens. My personal views are on the subject um, are, on the one hand, like of course, like yeah, it could be a very useful tool. I mean, it could help you make a grocery list or give you a good workout plan or something like that. As we learn more and more about the human genome, with AI, perhaps we'll be able to cure incurable diseases and chronic illnesses and things of that nature using this type of technology, which would be amazing, right? Sign me up for that. Less suffering in the world. At the same time, on the other side of the coin, um, I think there are some, really deep existential um, threats that are associated with this type of technology, right? If we automate away our own autonomy, right, we just kind of keep giving up more and more control over to these systems. I think I'll give you like a good example. Like if, like AI might help you with research for like a paper that you're writing. Let's say you're in school and you need to write a paper, so maybe AI helps you like with some of the research. But AI could also just completely write the paper for you. In which case, you haven't actually learned anything, right? You've just kind of
Absolutely.
outsourced all of the work to this agent here, and you didn't actually learn anything. So it could be used to kind of dumb down society, on the one hand, and on the very darkest end of the spectrum, if we don't align these types of technologies with human goals in mind, and it starts to come up with its own goals, and we succeed in creating super intelligence, then uh,
Mm,
we might find ourselves extinct at the hands of an artificial intelligence that
mm.
you know can achieve its goals better without humans in the equation.
Absolutely, absolutely. And this ties into something that I understand you're a big fan of sci-fi horror. And there's the track on the album Cronenberg, who I'm absolutely mad about. Are there any movies in particular that inspired you while you were writing this record? And if so, anything we should be watching?
Um, I think as far as like films go, like so, I mean, certainly with the song like Cronenberg, that was inspired by um, The Fly, right? That's like a classic,
Mm.
quintessential Cronenberg film there. But also like one of his movies, Crimes of the Future, I thought was a really compelling film, and had a very dystopian future element to it that sort of loosely inspired me here and there. Um, but I mean, honestly, a lot of the inspiration just came from just doing sort of research on the subject matter, listening to like TED Talks and actual real uh, AI safety experts or scientists working in the field. Um, that kind of inspired me to write this. I mean, even just some of the CEOs themselves from these companies, just hearing them candidly talk about like, oh yeah, it might exterminate the human race, but anyway, our profits are going through the roof, so
Yeah.
let's focus on that right now. So just
So I
just
suppose we are living in a sci-fi horror in our own way.
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's kind of like the things that were sci-fi are kind of becoming real life right now in a very rapid way.
And they do quite often, actually. Sci-fi kind of sees everything before it happens. So,
Yeah,
on this album, you've got a couple of newer faces. I say that because Lannon joined the band in 2023. Yeah, so you've got Harry Lannon and Alex Weber, who fresher faces in the Revocation clan. What do they bring to the mix?
they're great dudes, great players, great performers. It's nice having some new blood in the band, especially we've been around for quite some time now, and like a lot of different bands go through lineup changes. People decide to pursue other paths and other careers. So it's nice getting some new members in that are excited about the material, that are excited to tour and to continue on with this crazy journey of death metal conquest.
Absolutely, absolutely. And speaking as a producer myself, one thing that came across about the album was how sonically spot on it is. And you've worked with one of my mastering idols, which is Jens Borgen. Um, Everything he touched sounds remarkably amazing. Um, so, do you believe, like I do, that an album can soar or crash on mastering? You know, because like you could write the most amazing album in the world, but if the mastering's off, it can take a big sonic shit on it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, Jens is such an incredible producer. Mixing, mastering, the whole thing. I mean,
Mm.
like I was sort of laughing with the drummer of my other band, Gargoyle, James. We were like listening to some of the mixes because James sort of helped prep some like files in terms of like drums and stuff like that in the past for us, and we're just homies, and we share stuff with each other, and we were just listening to like this the first draft that James sent. It's pretty much just fucking nailed on the first try. He just has the ear. I think I mean, this is his second record working with us, so he really has our sound. dialed in, and he's just got so many years of experience, and I think he just really knows how to achieve a fantastic sound for modern metal recordings. I mean, it's punchy, it's modern, it's crisp, and it's clear, but it's still organic. It never loses that organic feel, which is very important to me. I
Yeah.
think more so than ever now, with the
Mm,
record being all about artificial intelligence, and I didn't want to overly sanitize it or overly sterilize it.
mm.
I mean, I've never wanted to do that with our music, but specifically with this one, it's like I'm like, I want this to be,
Yeah, human record.
modern, but please, we want that organic, real feel, and I'm glad that comes across.
Yeah, no, I mean, I just think currently you see a lot of stuff on the internet about like things like Lander and stuff like that, where they're saying to bands, "Oh, you can just plug it in, it just does it." And I'm just there going, "No, no, no, no!" Like, a good mastering engineer, that is years and years and years and years of practice on those ears. But it's the ears you're buying, you know. I think it's so important that
The years
like,
and the ears,
mm, yeah.
right? Yeah.
So, yeah, someone like Jens Borgen, if I see he's on a record, it's kind of like a seal of quality for me. I just know somebody's taken the time to do their research and work out who the best dude was. Um, yeah, there's a few inspired guests on this album. Now, a personal bugbear of mine recently as a journalist has been like guests for the sake of guests. When, someone just goes, "Oh, it's my mate," or just jump on, do like one line, and then we'll put their credit on and it'll boost our record and all that sort of stuff. These are inspired guests. These all have a job to do on the album. First off, because I'll go through them one by one because they're all amazing. First off, Travis Ryan of Cattle Decapitation, right? One of my favorite all-time death metal vocalists, period. Do you believe, like I do, that he really is leading the charge in terms of vocal innovation?
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, Travis has been in the game for a long time, um, and I think there have been a lot of newer vocalists on the scene, that definitely owe a lot to Travis as far as his influence.
Mm,
He really, uh, I think brought in some very novel elements to death metal vocals, and he's still evolving. Like he didn't always used to do like the pitched
yeah,
scream
yeah.
thing, but like bringing that into the Cal Decapitation's music added like a cool element and is very sort of unique to them. Even just like inflection things, like
Mm.
um, just how he rolls his R's
I was about to
in a
say
certain
that,
way. So I thought that was really cool.
yeah. He
Like bringing in
enunciates.
his own kind of character to the music there,
Mm,
in exciting ways. Because like in death metal, I think it's sometimes the vocals can just blend together in the background, and certain vocalists just like the goal is to kind of sound as brutal as possible. Obviously, that's one element of it, but sometimes the character starts getting stripped away, and I
mm.
just love that his voice has so much character to it, and it's instantly recognizable.
Oh, instantly, instantly. I got nothing but good things to say about that band. Same as Johnny Davey from Job for a Cowboy. Now, I was blown away by Job for a Cowboy's last record, and I thought when I saw his name come up on your record, I thought that's a good match because Job for a Cowboy, like the surreal, the body shock, the horror. I thought that's a really good idea. So how was that working with Johnny?
It's great. Johnny's an old buddy of mine. One of our first, bigger tours that we did back in the day was with Job for a Cowboy. It was a crazy tour. Like it was right when Existence is Futile came out. We went on tour with Behemoth and Job for a Cowboy in Japan, and
Wow.
like even our label was like, bands don't usually get offers like to go to Japan like this early on in their career. So someone over there must really like you guys enough to bring you over here, and it was just a great tour. And we went from being like pretty unknown band to like there was people waiting in the lobby for us to like come out to like sign autographs and stuff, and it was my first introduction to Japanese culture, which was it was just such a treat to be over there. All that is to say, it was such a crazy landmark in our career that we did early on, and we were doing it with Job for a Cowboy. So we were both kind of young and new to the scene, and Job for a Cowboy was already kind of blowing up at that point. So it was just cool to be over there and just sort of feeling like rock stars and being in uh, the same tour package together. We formed a good bond, and then we've toured with them after that. And we've just sort of stayed in touch over the years. So Johnny's a great dude. Obviously, JFAC isn't quite as active as they once were, like back in the day. But yeah, I shot him a text. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? You want to be on the new Rebel record? And thankfully, he was excited to be a part of this. And I told him one thing. I'm like, just go as unhinged as possible. Like I'm like you're not just singing some guest lines. Like I want you to be the personification of a hideous, vengeful mutation. And he was like, all right, I can do that. He was like, that's a role I'm ready for. So and when he sent me the tracks back, truthfully, George, I was just laughing because it was just so incredible and over the top in the best way. And it was like, it really sounded like fucking inhuman. As metalheads, and you can maybe attest to this as well. You hear stuff that might make someone else's skin crawl. That's not a metal fan. For us, it's just fun. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like, wow,
right.
this is like this gets me going. So I was so incredibly pleased with his vocal performance on that. It's truly inhuman.
Yeah, totally hit the brief. Totally hit the brief. Yeah. Now the wildest guest spot on here, and my personal favorite actually, because I'm something of a jazz head. It was Gilad Hecklesman.
Yeah, I mean, Galad is incredible. Just a truly living legend, in my opinion, in the modern jazz scene. Totally has his own unique voice on the instrument. An incredibly skilled technician, but also deeply lyrical as well. So it was just another one of those situations where I shot him a text and was like, "Hey, we got this really cracked, off the wall instrumental, and I'm hearing you on the outro, and I think it would be, I'd love to hear you lend a solo to the end of this song." And it was another situation where I got the track back from him, and I was like just totally floored. Like um, amazing lines, super interesting phrasing.
Mm,
Uh, and it was cool because he's coming from the jazz world, so he didn't approach it like a metal guitar player playing a solo or something. He
mm.
was really feels like a very interesting fusion of metal and jazz.
Absolutely. I mean, coming from the jazz world, he's probably listening out for rhythms and rhythms within rhythms and and scales within scales.
Yeah.
It's quite mind-boggling. It's
And now
incredible.
we're doing a tab book for the record, so I got to fucking transcribe his
Wow.
insanity. So
Yeah, just getting the accents right.
yeah, right.
So, this album marks your 20th anniversary as a band. Am I correct? But
Yes, yeah.
yeah,
It's the next year will be our 20-year anniversary, but I think Metal Blade um, kind of putting it out
yeah,
there. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I remember when you first came on the scene, made a massive stir with your first record. It exploded. As from an outsider looking in. Um, this whole talk of 20th anniversary must stir up some retrospection. How do you feel now, 20 years on, looking back at your career?
Old.
Yeah. Is there
No,
anything in particular, stands out?
yeah, I mean it's just been an incredible journey. I didn't even realize it was our 20-year anniversary until the label pointed it out.
Mhm.
Because you're living it day to day, so I'm not even some of those milestones they can just kind of
Yeah.
pass up sometimes. It's like you hear about the couple that's been married for 37 years, and they forget their anniversary. Oh, it was today. Oh, you don't even think about it because you've been together for so long. So it's almost like that with Revocation. But of course, 20 years is a long time, and it's worth noting. And yeah, I mean, there's been so many people have asked me, because this has come up in other interviews. what some standout moments are. And for me, it's every time we put out a new record, it's like a new chapter
Mm,
in the story of Revocation. And so those are always my proudest moments, is like that first day when that record drops. So I mean, playing a great show in front of a crowd is obviously amazing and incredible. And there's been some epic tours that we've been on, and some epic festivals that we've played. But so much work and blood, sweat, and tears go into these
yeah.
albums that we produce, and so much time, and
Mm,
working with a label that has a worldwide reach, and there's so much coordination. You bring so many people kind of into the fold when you're putting a record out. So it just feels so great to release that out into the world, and know that all of your hard work has been kind of distilled into this one piece of art that people can hopefully
yeah.
enjoy.
I always think it's a bit like being pregnant for a couple of years and then having the baby and giving it away immediately. It's yours now. Do
Right,
what you want with
right,
it.
right.
So, has the label been pushing for any sort of like 20th anniversary shows or anything like that?
Well, the nice thing about working with Metal Blade is they don't really push. They're not pushy, really. They don't really.
Okay.
They're there to support us, and which is great. But it kind of allows me to be creative with the stuff, and to just come up with cool ideas that without feeling like you've got to satisfy some CEO or something like that.
Mm,
Like I feel like very much in control of our own destiny,
awesome,
with
awesome. So, what's
being
the plan
signed to
after
Metal
this?
Blade.
Are you hitting the road pretty soon?
Yes, we are going out in a few weeks. We're doing a full tour of the U.S. and Canada to support the new record, and then early 2026 we're going over to Europe to support the new record for a month. Europe and the UK, and
Awesome.
then we'll be fully into the year of our 20-year anniversary. So we're definitely planning on doing some more touring around that. It'll be a nice kind of double win, because the record will still feel fresh. I
Mm,
think it'll only be out for a few months.
mm,
I feel like we can generally get a good, couple of years out of a new record in terms of the
definitely.
interest that it generates. So it'll be a nice, a nice double whammy to have the new record to support, and also a 20-year milestone to celebrate as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Well, the last question I've been asking every single band that I've interviewed this year, and we're going to make a Spotify playlist out of this. Right. So imagine, if you will, the Board of Education came to you and they said, could you give us a recommendation for an 18-year-old child who's leaving school out into the big wide world, a track that might set them up for life? Any genre, any style.
Wow,
I've had
that's a
loads of different answers.
tall order right there. Um,
Might be a good message for formative youth.
uh, why don't we go with Cannibal Corpse, I Come Blood.
Nice. Well, 18-year-olds love that stuff. Amazing. Amazing. On that note, best of luck with the new album. It's an absolute ripper. And it's been an absolute joy to talk to you today, David. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much.